Welcome to TeaDB, another Inbetweenisode here. I am James, of course. Hope everyone has been enjoying a lot of alone self-tea time for COVID-19 with yourself or whoever you are quarantined with. I'm filming this in mid to late April. Still here, and I'm drinking some actually Taiwanese Oolong today, but it's actually a lot more appropriate for ripe. We're getting some stereotypical Seattle weather. It is quite dark and cloudy. The weather has in general been a lot nicer more recently, but today it is not the case. But I am drinking some Taiwanese Oolong because that is what I had on my schedule for today. So today I am drinking another tea. You may recall maybe about a month or two ago, I brought on some Dongding from TeaHome. This is also from literally the same order I placed with Garrett to TeaHome last year. And this is the Shanlinxi. I ordered four teas from them, and I thought this and the Legend of Dongding were probably a bit more of the standouts. They're a little bit different than the other ones. I'm not sure if I'll drink the other two on camera. They're worth drinking, but this stands out a little bit. And one of the reasons it stands out is that it is a high mountain tea. Shanlinxi is a high mountain, along with Alishan and Lishan, Dayuling as well, which is on top of Lishan, and it is the one high mountain, I believe, that is in Nantou County. So TeaHome, they are Dongding specialists, and they are based in that Nantou County area, and they process a lot of teas in that fashion. And Shanlinxi is close by. So in proximity, it makes sense that they would source this as far as all of the different high mountains go. So I don't know if this is actually their own production, but they sell it. I think it's quite a good value tea. It costs 1,100 NTD. For those that don't want to do that conversion, that's $37, give or take, for 300 grams. So that's about 12 cents a gram. We're talking about pretty darn reasonable for something that is higher mountain, and certainly cheaper than you would expect from most Western vendors, which usually have to charge a little bit higher markup through no fault of their own. So I just made steep 2 number here. I have freshly heated this water up. I'm going to make steep number 3 right now. For these teas, I definitely do not give them a flash brew. I'll usually start out at 20 to 25 seconds, and then usually because it's rolled, I can reduce the time just a little bit, and then bring it back up on steep 3, 4, or 5. So, I'm going to brew this now. That's probably about 20 seconds or so. I am a believer in using boiling water for Oolong teas in general, so that is what I do. I'm not someone that alters that. I also am, this kettle in theory is variable temperature. Not sure if it actually works, to be honest. At this point, I've been using it for, this is probably like 7 years now, so it is it has seen some wear and tear. And ratio-wise, 5 grams for 75 milliliters or so pretty similar ratio to what I use for a lot of other teas, like pu'er, semi-aged pu'er, that sort of thing. All right, so a quick smell here. So this is steep number 3 I just made. Floral, sweet. One thing that sometimes rubs me the wrong way about greener teas in general, that's not green tea specifically, but greener teas, is that sometimes the over grassiness and stuff I can find to be a bit much, and it's one of the reasons I'm not a regular consumer of Japanese green teas. I can enjoy those teas under context. They don't, for me, pass the sort of like speed test or do I want to drink this test. And the same goes for raw pu'er. Sometimes something about that really, really greenness just isn't that appealing to me. And so even for a tea that's a high mountain oolong, which also tends to be in that greener category, I like it to have a little bit of a darker edge. And this tea has, for me, just enough of that darker edge that it satisfies me in that sense. Anyways, cheers. It's round, it's sweet, sort of has this oaty taste too. pretty good body, soft overall, very friendly. Steep number 3. Cheers. Quite similar to steep number 2, maybe a little bit more of that herbal edge being brought out, consuming it slightly hotter as well. But still really quite tasty, good sweetness. I'm trying to evaluate the aftertaste. Yeah, it has decent depth going towards the back of the mouth and a little bit of a Huigon too. And this is not a high mountain Taiwanese oolong that is going to blow your socks off in the way that maybe the very, very best do. But I do think it is towards the top of value of what you can get stateside, just because it is inexpensive. And for me, I am not drinking a lot of Taiwanese oolongs, but I do like to have them around. I do drink them maybe every couple weeks or so, and I do find them to be a very familiar tea, or a very friendly tea towards non-drinkers or non-tea drinkers, that is. My wife likes to drink them on the weekends sometimes when we're not drinking ripe. And so it's something that I've realized that I didn't stock for quite some time, but I realized that it is nice to have around. And for me, what I'm looking for when I'm going for it is something that's reasonably priced. I'm not looking for the best of the best. So for me personally, this serves me well. I think for other people that might be more interested in trying and really exploring the different Taiwanese oolongs or high mountain oolongs and that sort of thing, this may be a little bit less interesting. To me, I treat this as mainly a good value tea, as opposed to a great tea. And so that's kind of how I think of it, at least. A little bit of that roasty mineralness to it, too, bringing a little bit more of that out. And it just doesn't have that intense greenness to it. And so I enjoy this tea for that. Good body again. Yeah, so just a really friendly tea overall, all around. I'd say compared to the Legend of Dongding, which I brought on semi-recently, it's a bit different. There may be a similar level of greenness. I'd say the Dongding, the roast tastes a little bit different, and I think it veers a little bit more into that mineral-y crowd. It has a little bit more intensive that floralness on it, steep to steep. I do like this slightly more. This is a little bit more expensive, but again, it's not something that you're going to destroy your bank account over. So this session is costing me, setting me back about 60 cents, 70 if you want to count shipping. So I think that's overall quite reasonable. So again, check them out at TeaHome. Their site is a maze and not easy to navigate, but you can probably identify this tea fairly easy by using the characters of Shanlinxi. So yeah, I definitely recommend people check this out if it sounds interesting to them. It's something that I have had around for maybe half a year, and I've been pretty consistent about drinking it throughout that time. So I am glad to have it. So thank you all for tuning in. Let me know what you'd like to see as far as Inbetweenisode goes. Be definitely bringing on some more ripes as I drink through more of those during these COVID-19 times. Hope everyone is staying safe and following what the local public health experts are telling you to do. And I will see you all next time. Cheers.